vuelta y vive. Gotta live, gotta breathe, gotta eat, gotta dar la vuelta y vive.
All right, well, here we go again with another edition of Da la Vuelta y Vive, and it's one of those days where we come in, we don't really prepare, we just kind of start throwing some music on there and, you know, figure out what the hell we're going to be talking about. A lot of what happens throughout the day or throughout the week when we get together and we come together to talk takes us to through different levels throughout the week, and you know, we go through some things. One of them that we very commonly go through is stress. We don't know why. We try to identify what stresses us out. You know, sometimes it feels like anything fucking stresses us out. The smallest of things can stress us out. And a lot of times I think to myself, is it something that I pick? Do I pick to stress? Do I choose to stress? Do I choose to live this way? And I can't help but to kind of struggle with the fact that things aren't really the way I want them to be, you know, and it takes me from one point to the stress point, to the point to where it not necessarily just messes with my mind, but it takes me to a different level. It changes me. It changes my mood. It changes who I am as a person. And that's what stress does. And we wonder a lot of times if we have the capacity as human beings, if we have the capacity as being a strong person in our minds, why can't we just get away from it? Why can't we just say, you know what? Stress be gone, and it's gone. It just doesn't fucking work like that. So, you know, as human beings, we found different methods of dealing with stress. Some people smoke. Some people smoke weed. Some people drink. Some people talk to other people. I do none of the above. Stress to me is a singular situation, and so I choose to deal with it on my own without the use of alcohol, without the use of anything that's going to alter my thought process. And what I do is I battle with that thought, with that negative thought, with that stressful thought. One thing that has helped me has been to deal with death. It's weird. It's weird because someone that is stressing, you would think right off the bat that person that is stressing can't deal with coming up and talking to people about death or giving advice or talking to someone that is going through something like that. But I found that it just makes me feel better. It makes me feel better and reduces my stress. I don't know why, don't ask me. But the fact that I can turn around and I can talk to someone about their dying loved one or even themselves has brought me to be able to prepare. So like a Dr. Death or something. But there's something about the thought of stress and death that is so contradictory. And so this is what I think is happening in my mind. And it might be a good thing. I don't know. I don't know. But I will tell you this. Out of any drug out there, out of any disease out there, out of anything out there, car crashes, you name it, stress is probably the #1 killer of human beings throughout the world in any means, in any way possible. It could be the reason for a lot of the bad things, a lot of the things that we see in the news, a lot of the bad things that we see throughout society. A lot of times bullies, a lot of times bullies, or a lot of times people that are trying to hurt somebody, or mass shooters or whatever. If you go back and you study them, if you go back and you talk to them, they will tell you they were stressed. They reached a boiling point. They reached a point, and so in the thought process and thinking about someone that is actually near death, or somebody that is losing someone, the preparation of our mind that takes us to that point, to know that we're going to lose a loved one, or to know that we're going to be leaving soon, makes us think about our past and think about a lot of different things that we could have done different, right? It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, and a lot of times that's what generates or creates the stress that I'm talking about. But when we battle against our past, when we're battling against our past, what are we truly battling? Are we truly battling ourselves? Are we truly battling something that we don't have control over? Or do we have the control to be able to say, you know what? I didn't do it like this. Now I'm going to do it like that. And this is going to be the result. And this is where I can find peace of mind, right? But to sit there and go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I know you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about those times when you're just sitting at home and you just start thinking about something that you did and you wish you would have done different, okay? You got into an argument with your wife and you said something you didn't mean, and you said it and it just made things worse, okay? I'm talking about you're making a deal. You're making a deal. You're on the phone. You're trying to sell something. You're making a deal, and you said something that lost the deal, that dropped the deal. And you're thinking to yourself, man, damn, I could have done this. I could have done shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? We've heard that. And that generates us, in our mind, that battle that takes us to the point to where we start stressing out. And you say to yourself, everybody goes through that, Hugo. Everybody goes through it. Yes, everybody goes through it. And that's what I'm saying, that not everybody deals with it the same way. Not everybody deals with it with a peaceful mind. Okay? So I got this little exercise that I like to do, and normally what I do is I take things to the extreme. I'd ask Victor, because I want Victor to be my sidekick from now on. So on our next show, hopefully we'll see Victor with us. And so basically I'm going to just ask him a question. He's here with me. He normally produces the show. I think he can produce and come out on the show as well, because all he does is sits there and he's on his phone. But I'm going to ask him a series of questions, and then you can just nod yes or no, okay? And then we'll take it from there. So this is what I like to do. So, Victor, tell me something that stresses you out, that is stressing you out right now. Seriously, work. Okay, so work is stressing Victor out. Okay, so why? Why is it stressing you out? because there's a lot of work, and there's always going to be work, right? So let's say there's always going to be work and it's stressing you out. So what could be the worst thing that can happen to Victor with the work that he has? What could be the worst thing that can happen? You get fired, right? You get fired. Okay. So then what happens if you get fired? Well, then that means that you don't have the means to pay your bills, right? So since you don't have the means to pay your bills, then more than likely they're going to shut off your light, right? And once they shut off your light, because obviously you can't watch TV, so that kind of gets really, really bad. But even worse, after they shut off your light, eventually you're going to get an eviction notice, right? And by now, you don't even have money for gas. So you're having problems walking to the store and bringing back food, right? So you're at home, your wife's at home, your kids are at home. You don't have a job because you got fired, so now you lost your light. And you can't do nothing at home. Nothing. You can't watch TV. So basically, all you have is your phone. So you're watching, and then you can still deal with things because you're at home, you're on social media, or you're watching TV on your phone. But then all of a sudden, they cut off your phone, a la madre. So they cut off your phone. So now they cut off your phone. You don't have light. You have very little food. You already have an eviction notice. You're going to get evicted. So now it gets to the point to where now you get thrown out of your house. So now, not only do you don't have a phone, you don't have light, you don't have food, you don't have anything, you get thrown out in the street. So now your kids, and your wife are walking the streets of Weslaco, right? You live in Weslaco? So you're walking the streets in Weslaco, and you're pushing a cart, right? So you're pushing that cart, and you're loading and trying to get cans and trying to get whatever you can to feed your family, right? So you probably go and you lie to people and you tell them that your house burnt down and stuff, and they give you, $1 or $2 or whatever, and that's what you use to pay for the food that you're gonna eat for that day. But there's no shelter. There's no shelter for you. You're too proud because you're not gonna go to dad. You're not gonna go to mom. So then you're and your wife, your kids. You're walking behind a shopping cart. And you have all these cans that you're collecting, and you're going and telling people that your house burnt down, and then you're living under the freeway. That's where you live, right? And you do this for 2 or 3 days, and then all of a sudden, you wake up one morning and your cart's not there. Damn it, man, now you don't have a cart. So your cans are all gone. So for that day, you don't have nothing to eat. You don't eat. Your kids don't eat. Your wife doesn't eat. Now you don't even have a cart. And you stink, and you're in the worst time. You can't even go up to somebody and tell them that your house burned because they're not going to believe you. They know you're living under a freaking freeway. So then what happens after that? Then the law picks you up, throws you in jail. Now your wife is out on the street. You're in jail. You see how, stupid that sounds already? And that is the extreme of, I'm stressed because of my job. I'm stressed because of my job. I'm stressed because something went wrong at work. I'm stressed because I didn't reach my quota. I'm stressed because I didn't pass my test. I'm stressed because I didn't make that deal. I'm stressed because I didn't shoot. I don't know. We stress for the stupidest things. We stress for the dumbest things. But isn't it dumb if we take things to the extreme and we say to yourself, this is the extreme. This is what's going to happen to me if I lose my job. This is what's going to happen to me if I don't make that sale. This is what is going to happen to me if I don't reach that goal. This is what's going to happen to me. And you take it to the extreme. And then you turn back and you say to yourself, man, you know what? It's stupid. See, this is the thing. That we can always look for someone that's going to tell us a story. And we call them testimonies. And we're going to hear that testimony. And it's going to make us feel so small to know that there's someone out there that has been through all these things, and they can still come up in front of you and say, you know what? Man up, woman up, be strong, forget the past, forget what you went through, live your life, be the best that you can be legendary. That is what gets to me every single time that I stress, and then somebody is right in front of me. It's like God puts them right in front of me, and they're there for that one purpose, to make me feel like this. And I say to myself, okay, God, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for making me feel like crap. But don't I deserve it? Don't I deserve to feel like that? When things can be so much easier if I just say to myself, you know what? I failed. I fail. What do I do if you fall? What do you do if you fall? You get the fuck up. You get up. Okay? It's not rocket science here. You fall, you get up. You fall, you get up. That's what we're made to do. That is the reaction of our fall. We get back up. Now, how you get back up and how you attack this situation from now on, that's what changes everything. So now I choose to live my life a certain way. Now I choose to say to myself, okay, wait a minute, okay? I didn't make that sale. My team is not following my directions. Okay, so if there's 6 people in my team, okay, and I went through this, okay, and when you go through things like this in a hostile situation like a war or something like that, you think about these things and you say to yourself, okay, what am I doing wrong? If there's 6 people who are thinking alike, who feel, who say, you know what, man, this guy's not leading me in the right direction, then there's something wrong, right? So I got to look at myself. I got to look within, and I got to say to myself, okay, what am I doing wrong? Okay. I'm not making sales. I'm not reaching my quotas. The company, man, they got these rules. I don't get them. I don't understand them. Shit, they do. They're making money. And if you're not making them money, guess what? You're moving on. It's not them, it's you. So what do you say to yourself? Okay, I'm doing something wrong. Figure it out. Man up, woman up, and say, you know what? I got to make some changes. I got to make some changes. And that's how we beat stress. That's how we beat this ugly, I can't call it a drug. It's how we beat this thing, this disease that kills a lot of us, that tears us apart, that makes us sad, that makes us wonder who we are as human beings. And that right there, my friends, that is what we need to start kind of, thinking about. Is it worth it? Is it worth my time, my stress? Is it worth for me to worry about these type of things? There's a difference between I'm worried and, you know what? I had a bad day. I'm going to make it better. Huge difference. Huge difference. And that's how we start controlling our lives. Take the time. Let's think. Is it worth it? Stress. I don't think so. Da la vuelta y vive. God bless you.